The council regrets to inform you, you won't be permitted to attend the next session.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most disastrous commercial flops in television history.
What if I told you there's a place where we're all like you? All Inhumans.
Number 20, Ringer.
I was wondering how you'd look after 6 years. Not nearly as good as you.
Widely advertised as Sarah Michelle Gellar's big return to TV, Ringer was heavily backed by the CW. Thanks mainly to the star power of Gellar, the series generated initial buzz but quickly saw declining ratings thanks to a lack of consistent quality. The numbers rapidly dropped following the strong premiere, and unfortunately, the show had high production costs due to its slick visual style and complex filming techniques, like putting Gellar in a dual role. It was simply too financially unstable for the CW to continue, and it didn't have the cult following or the strong reviews that often buoy other shows that struggle in the ratings. So, Ringer's bell was rung after just one season.
They're looking for you. Tell me where you are and I'll come and get you.
No. It's not safe for either of us. I shouldn't have even called you.
Bridget! Bridget!
I gotta go.
Bridget, wait!
Number 19, Troy, Fall of a City.
And you were different too. What do you mean? Your world here was wild. Your civilized husband didn't want that. It scared him, so he tamed it. And he tamed you too.
The Trojan War is just begging for a great TV adaptation. This was not that. Co-produced by the BBC and Netflix, the series aimed to retell the famous story with a fresh perspective. It was also fully backed by the BBC, with a primetime Saturday night slot and a significant budget of £2 million per episode. But while a typical BBC drama in that slot would average over 5 million viewers, Troy received about half that for its premiere, and the ratings only got worse from there as disappointed viewers dropped off. This was a crushing blow, with the show failing to match the high expectations set by the BBC and similar period dramas like Game of Thrones.
Is that why you're leaving early? Because of her? She rejected you, didn't she? Don't come back.
Number 18, The Event.
Looking for a man with TSA credentials. Would have just passed this way.
This man is carrying a biological weapon he's going to release inside the terminal.
Beginning in September 2010, NBC's The Event truly was, wait for it, an event. The alien sci-fi thriller came bursting out of the gate, debuting with nearly 11 million viewers, strong numbers that caused NBC to order a full season. Alas, the show failed to maintain momentum. It soon suffered a rapid ratings decline, and by late November, the show was averaging just 6 million viewers. Following a mid-season break, the ratings dropped even further. By now, the early buzz was entirely absent and the show had completely bungled its strong momentum. While exact numbers were never released, it's believed that NBC spent a significant chunk of money on the show, and unfortunately, the return on investment just wasn't there.
Sophia's locked herself inside.
Martinez did it. All the flights have been canceled. Sterling said that the other 2 locations have been neutralized.
Sophia can still release the virus from here. We have to get everyone out.
We can't. They've locked down all the exits.
Number 17, Good Girls Revolt.
If this was in fact a riot, it could have national and social significance. Sam, get started.
Wait.
What?
Sam's written top flight covers 4 weeks in a row, and he and Jane are a good team.
Patty is sourced. I'm fresh. Sam is tired from a month.
What I need right now is the fastest rewrite man in the building and his efficient researcher. We can't take a chance in case this merits a cover.
Amazon wanted their own Mad Men, so they created Good Girls Revolt, based on a nonfiction book about the underpaid and underappreciated female employees of Newsweek. The show was heavily compared to Mad Men, complete with a 60s setting, an office environment, and themes centered around workplace power structures and second-wave feminism. Unfortunately, it was also considered a lesser Mad Men, and it failed to attract an audience, with Amazon's internal figures showing just 1.6 million total viewers. And with an astounding budget of $81 million, the show was an obvious commercial disaster and was nixed after just one season.
You know, maybe things could change.
At News of the Week?
Yeah.
How?
Maybe we could start something. No? Talk to some of the girls? 2 are better than 1, and 10 is better than 2.
Number 16, Kaos.
Do you see this thing here? Ah, come on. This prophecy. Jeez. I think it's coming to pass. It's happening.
Another show about Greek mythology, another bomb. Maybe it's just not meant to be. This high-budget Netflix series reimagines Greek myth in a modern setting, and some sources peg its budget around $50 million. That is a staggering amount, especially given its mere 8 episodes. We suppose Jeff Goldblum doesn't come cheap. Despite its star-studded cast and ambitious concept, the show failed to gain significant traction, and viewership numbers were reportedly underwhelming. Maybe Netflix would have gone easy on it had it not been for that Herculean budget. Ultimately, Kaos did not meet expectations, either creatively or commercially, and it failed to establish itself as a must-watch series. So, like the great and powerful Zeus, Netflix quickly smote it in a passionate rage.
Mortals, today is a holy day upon which you honor me. Do you do that well? Yes.
You do, but you shouldn't. He's a transcendent, unmitigated bastard.
Number 15, Vinyl.
How long I know you guys? Come on. Something's going on. You're not happy. I heard about it, the royalty rate.
Do you remember the HBO show Vinyl? No, probably not. Which is weird considering the involvement of figures like Mick Jagger and Martin Scorsese. Being a period drama with tons of great music, Vinyl did not come cheap, costing HBO around $100 million. So imagine their surprise when the show received good, not great reviews and modest viewership. It was immediately obvious that Vinyl had underwhelmed both critically and commercially, and like CDs, interest only dropped as time went on. In fact, HBO had initially greenlit the show for a second season, believing that it would be carried by its concept and unbelievable star power, but they reversed course when it became obvious that Vinyl was DOA.
But still, it's clear all the book cooking in the world ain't gonna save the company. Time to dump and run.
Number 14, Sense8.
This is it.
Hell no. This wasn't a dream. If all the partners I end up with a Mulder wannabe.
Created by the Wachowskis of The Matrix fame, hype was enormous for their sci-fi epic Sense8. But like The Matrix sequels, it was met with a collective meh. Each episode cost millions of dollars, driven by its large ensemble cast and global filming locations spanning multiple continents. And while it did gain a small and passionate fan base, it struggled to attract wide mainstream attention. While Netflix does not generally release detailed viewership numbers, the show clearly failed to justify its expensive budget, and it was canceled after 2 seasons. However, Netflix threw its loud and irate fan base a bone, resulting in a 2-hour special meant to wrap up dangling storylines.
I know I will still remember this moment. I will still be wearing this ring. Because inside your arms is the only place I've ever felt like I was home.
Number 13, Altered Carbon.
Files incomplete, parts of it sealed. What is here? Espionage, terrorism, crimes against the state, and more murders than I can count.
Another sci-fi epic, another premature cancellation, another irate fanbase. Tale as old as time. Altered Carbon was initially seen as a major bet for Netflix, featuring a unique cyberpunk premise, strong source material, and an exorbitant budget, reportedly around $7 million per episode. The first season garnered a mixed critical reception, with some praising the aesthetics but criticizing the convoluted plot and shallow emotional depth. The second season fared no better. Reviews still weren't excellent, viewership still wasn't there, and even worse, it came out right before COVID hit, so significant production delays further weighed against its potential renewal. Unfortunately, the suits didn't think it was worth the risk, and Altered Carbon was given the most permanent alteration of all.
Hey, I'm looking for somebody. Goes by Takeshi Kovacs. Do you know him?
People don't like questions around here.
Number 12, Inhumans.
You're safe.
Who are you?
My name's Triton. I've been looking for you. You're one of us.
What are we?
We are Inhumans.
Originally intended as a movie within the MCU, Inhumans was eventually downgraded to a TV series, which immediately signaled a huge lack of confidence. The show did nothing to allay those fears. It tried being a mega blockbuster in the vein of the MCU, complete with ambitious visual effects and even the use of IMAX cameras. But critics panned the show for its horrible storytelling and wooden performances, leading almost immediately to poor viewership numbers. Additionally, Inhumans felt disconnected from the larger MCU, making it feel irrelevant to casual viewers. In the end, Inhumans failed to meet both fan and critical expectations, resulting in its early cancellation after just one poorly received season. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? This was not.
What did you get?
I don't know. I walked out of the chamber and fell down. I guess I had a seizure.
To the mines you go.
Number 11. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
There will be ample time later to discuss official matters. I want to hear about you. Your harrowing journey.
Perhaps it's unfair to include The Rings of Power as it hasn't even finished yet, but it seems like the writing is on the wall. Amazon spent an eye-watering $1 billion on the rights to The Lord of the Rings, intending to make at least 5 seasons. But the show faced criticism for its slow pacing, fragmented storytelling, and significant deviations from Tolkien's lore, which alienated diehard fans. And it couldn't hold on to casual fans either, with just 37% of American viewers even finishing the first season, signaling major retention issues. It also failed to achieve any semblance of cultural impact, especially when compared to its source material. Amazon may not want to admit it, but this was a disastrous fumble.
The last time we had travelers this early, it was the Great Frost. And there's no misremembering how bleak a season that was.
Number 10. Kings. Kings was set to be NBC's great drama. It was based on a biblical story. It starred the incredible Ian McShane, fresh off his revolutionary performance as Al Swearingen on Deadwood, and the studio reportedly put up a whopping $10 million for its pilot. The subsequent episodes weren't much cheaper, most of them coming in with a $4 million bill. Judging by those numbers, we can assume that the 13 episodes of Kings, including its 2-part pilot, cost well over $50 million to produce. However, the show received middling reviews, and viewers quickly dropped off after the first couple of episodes, resulting in King's swift cancellation.
Don't go! Stop, Ross! Keep your hands up!
Talk about a short reign.
It's treason, what you've done.
Number 9. Battlestar Galactica. Before getting a new and enduring lease on life in the 2000s, the Battlestar Galactica franchise kicked off with a TV series in the late 1970s that rode the sci-fi popularity wave of the first Star Wars film.
Right here, you creeps.
And like most convincing science fiction, it wasn't cheap to produce. Each episode cost about $1 million to produce, or just under $4 million in today's dollars. And while Battlestar Galactica initially saw success, it quickly sunk in the ratings when CBS moved its hit show All in the Family to the same time slot. ABC canceled the show after 1 season, leading to protests and, unfortunately, the death of one fan. Number 8. Cop Rock.
Mom always told me, be nice to strangers.
Cop shows were big business in the 80s and 90s. Series like Hill Street Blues and NYPD Blue both garnered critical acclaim and devoted audiences. Cop Rock, a musical cop drama, yep, you heard that right, unfortunately didn't fare as well. It's often considered one of the worst dramas of all time, and it unsurprisingly didn't garner much of an audience.
What kind of world do we live in? What kind of world? I don't know.
Each episode cost almost $2 million to produce, or just under $4 million today. But despite its lavish production values, its bizarre concept was just too much to handle. ABC canceled the show after just 11 episodes, and Cop Rock was deemed one of the biggest TV failures of the decade. Number 7. The Get Down. Sorry, Netflix, they can't all be winners. The Get Down was a massive production from Baz Luhrmann, the artistic visionary behind gorgeous productions like Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, and The Great Gatsby.
On the lips.
Netflix originally planned for the show to cost $11 million per episode, or about $120 million for the season. But the budget ended up ballooning as high as $16 million an episode. The final budget was estimated to be somewhere between $180 and $200 million, about as much as a Marvel production. Unfortunately, the gamble didn't pay off, and Netflix was forced to cancel the show after 1 season due to its low viewership and exorbitant costs. Number 6. Viva Laughlin. Viva Laughlin was an ambitious project from CBS.
Please allow me to introduce myself.
Hugh Jackman starred and served as executive producer, and the pilot episode alone cost nearly $7 million to produce. However, the show was absolutely roasted by critics, with one writer from the New York Times questioning whether it could possibly be a contender for the worst show of all time.
That's rough.
The viewers seemed to agree, as the show was quickly canceled. And we mean quickly. The show received the axe after just 2 episodes, leaving 5 produced episodes unaired. Now that's what we call a bomb.
Don't ever call me again.
Number 5, Bionic Woman. The Bionic Woman was a hit in the 70s, so naturally it was bound to get the remake treatment. The reboot debuted on NBC in 2007, but the critics absolutely despised it. And despite respectable viewership numbers, the writer's strike of 2007 put an end to the show's production after just 8 episodes. This spelled disaster for NBC, as each episode of the show reportedly cost around $6 million to produce, and the network spent $15 million on marketing. Judging by those numbers, NBC spent around $60 million on a show that was canceled after just 8 episodes. Not exactly a good return on investment.
Do you really have X-ray vision?
Yeah, I do.
Number 4, Camelot. Camelot was another Starz attempt at a sword and sandal drama after Spartacus proved to be a big hit. Spartacus, this was not.
Shut up. Please, just shut up.
The show was run by Torchwood and the Tudors alums Chris Chibnall and Michael Hurst respectively, and it starred Joseph Fiennes and Ava Green. If you think this sounds expensive, it was. Each episode cost around $7 million to produce, and with 10 aired episodes, it's assumed that Starz pumped about $70 million into Camelot.
Only here when they find him, he won't live to be king.
However, the show was criticized for being dull and silly, and despite the premiere being the highest-rated pilot in Starz history, it was canceled after 10 episodes due to scheduling conflicts with the cast.
What do we do now?
Number 3, Supertrain. Supertrain is known for being one of the biggest laughs in television history, and unfortunately, it wasn't a comedy.
Engine room, Supertrain is ready to depart.
It's often ranked in worst TV show lists, and it was a massive commercial failure, the likes of which had never yet been seen.
Yeah, sure about that, huh?
While exact numbers are hard to come by, Supertrain is considered the most expensive American show ever produced at the time, and NBC put a massive amount of money behind its marketing. However, the show's poor quality resulted in low viewership, and it was canceled after just 3 months and 9 episodes. NBC wasn't able to recover its enormous losses, and the network nearly went bankrupt.
I thought we were given assurances that that window was indestructible.
Number 2, Terra Nova. Science fiction's always tricky to produce. It costs a lot of money to make convincingly, and many sci-fi shows end up with a niche audience at best. Terra Nova received great initial reviews, with many critics praising its ambition and dazzling special effects.
I hate Carnotaurus.
While the quality tended to vary, it was a relatively solid season of television. However, these ambitions came with a price. The pilot ended up costing the network around $14 million, with each subsequent episode tallying around $4 million. And while the show averaged around 7 million viewers an episode, this wasn't enough for Fox, who ended the series after just 13 episodes.
It's me, Sky.
Sky. All right, get in.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Marco Polo. Marco Polo served as a huge shock to Netflix subscribers. The network was known for its relatively small-scale dramas, including House of Cards and Orange is the New Black, yet here was a massive production on par with HBO. In fact, Netflix picked up the series for $90 million, making it the world's second most expensive show at the time, behind Game of Thrones.
You shall be tutored in the Mongolian ways of the horse.
However, the show received scathing reviews and failed to catch on, despite Netflix's admirable attempts to revitalize it. They canceled the show after just 2 seasons, making it one of Netflix's and TV's biggest bombs, to the estimated tune of a $200 million loss.
Let him go, Latin. Let him go.
Did these shows deserve to flop? Let us know in the comments below.
The line appears, the order wanes, the family falls, and chaos reigns.